As a person with a very deep voice, I'm hired all the time for advertising campaigns. But a deep voice doesn't sell B2B, and advertising on the wrong platform doesn't sell B2B either. That's why if you're a B2B marketer, you should use LinkedIn ads. LinkedIn has the targeting capabilities to help you reach the world's largest professional audience. That's right, over 70 million decision makers all in one place. All the big wigs, then medium wigs, also small wigs who are on the path to becoming big wigs. Okay, that's enough about wigs. LinkedIn ads allows you to focus on getting your B2B message to the right people. So, does that mean you should use ads on LinkedIn instead of hiring me, the man with the deepest voice in the world? Yes. Yes, it does. Get started today and see why LinkedIn is the place to be to be. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/MPN to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/MPN. Terms and conditions apply.
Entrepreneurs Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. So the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneurs Enigma. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. I'm, as always, your host, and I have a really good buddy here today, Gloria Bell. I've known Gloria since the first tweet up in Philadelphia in 2008.
Yes.
Ish, because I think 2007 I was still talking about what was going on with my lunch. And then I figured out, there's more to Twitter than what you're eating for lunch or you went to the bathroom, that kind of thing. But that whole reputation of Twitter didn't really go away to like the teens, and people realized that there was actually something there. Everyone was always like, Twitter, why do I care what you ate for lunch? And I'm like, it's more than that.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Gloria is a powerhouse, and she's modest, but she's a powerhouse in Philly in the startup community. She has more than 30 years of business operations experience, event management, entrepreneurial experience. She is the founder and chief bottle washer of the Women in Tech Summit. She runs the Inspiring Tech Foundation. She helps out with Philly startup leaders. I mean, literally, Gloria doesn't sleep, I don't think. I think she's a vampire, a sun infused vampire, because I don't know when you sleep. Like you're constantly you have more energy than I do. So, hey, Gloria, how's it going?
It's good. How you doing, Seth?
I'm doing great, and she's soon to be a Grammy, which is hard to believe. And she's so excited. We're all excited for Gloria, because this kid is going to be teched out. They're going to have all the tech, and they're going to know how to use it, and then they're eventually going to surpass the master and teach Gloria how to use the tech. It happens. It happens. My 11-year-old's that way right now. He's like, no, that's not how you do it. It's faster to do it this way. I'm like, how did you figure that out? He's like, I pressed a few buttons and I figured it out. I'm like, oh my God. It's happening.
They are smarter than we are. Absolutely.
And their brains are so much more moldable. Like their medulla isn't fully formed till 25. So they have a lot more sponginess to go. Us, what we know is what we know. So
our filing cabinets are full. Theirs are empty.
I'm losing stuff out of my file cabinet. Like I'm dropping stuff on the floor occasionally. So Gloria, how did this all get started? I mean, I know we know each other from Twitter. You were prolific on Twitter. May it rest in peace. And how did this all get started? Like, what's the origin story of Gloria?
The origin story of Gloria. So Gloria is on, I guess, technically her 5th career. I had a 20-plus year corporate career before my tech and entrepreneur career.
You survived corporate that long. Wow.
I was in corporate that long. I know. Can't believe I survived.
I lasted 2.5 years. I was like, peace.
Yep, exactly. But I was in the insurance industry for a little over 20 years doing insurance claims of all kinds. And on the side, I owned and ran a couple businesses with various friends and family members.
Red Stapler.
One of them,
Red
well,
Stapler.
no, this was even pre-Red Stapler.
Oh.
I owned a construction company. Yeah, I've got a really varied background.
It's Gloria. I should not be surprised here, but I am. Construction company. Wow.
Yeah, I had a construction company, had a residential and commercial cleaning service, did a few other things. But how I ended up doing what I'm doing now is I was actually working with a friend on his technology project management company.
Oh.
And kind of realized that was what I had always been in love with. I've been in love with tech since I was a kid, since my dad got his master's degree in data processing when I was in elementary school.
So the techie's in the genes.
The techie's in the genes. And I was really burnt out doing what I've been doing because I had spent many years handling insurance claims and many years doing very large, what we call large exposure commercial claims, which was, guys falling off construction sites, kids getting molested in daycare centers, people drowning in apartment complex swimming pools, like really ugly stuff that really just drains you because you're with people at the worst point in their lives.
And that's the reason I'm not doing journalism anymore. It eats you. It's terrible.
Yeah, it just kind of, you can only handle so much for so long.
20 years, God bless you, though.
Yeah. So I decided to take a big risk on myself. And when I was working with my friend's company, we were working with a lot of small dev shops, a lot of 1 and 2 man freelance agencies, really talented people, really good at what they did in design and dev and all of that. Not so good at running businesses. That's what I was really good at.
Exactly.
And so, found my niche. And said, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on myself. I'm going to follow my passion. I cashed in my 401k.
So you took a hit on that too.
Oh, took a big hit on that.
Yeah, because the feds don't like you taking your money. The financial markets don't like you taking money out before you need to retire.
No, they do not. Cashed it in, started my company, Red Stapler.
And met Seth at that point. I remember that was like the big thing with Red Stapler. Yeah.
Red Stapler Consulting. And it was doing operations and process consulting for tech startups and small dev shops. And the thought behind that was either I'm going to be successful, I'm going to fail miserably, fall on my face, lose every penny of my retirement, and have to go beg for my old job back, which if that was the worst case scenario,
Yeah, you fail fast or you succeed slow. You just kind of, it's not the worst thing. We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
Did you know the world's largest business show is expanding to Miami March 6th and 7th at the Miami Beach Convention Center? The Business Show is helping small businesses start, grow, and develop. Learn all the tips, tricks, and advice you need. It's a free pass to a wealth of information you can't find anywhere else. And yes, you heard that right, free tickets. Just go to bit.ly/MPNB2B. That's bit.ly/B2B. Your free ticket also gets you into going global live, working from home live, Retrain Expo, the Sustainability Show, and the Future Working Show. Each helps to tackle the growing demands of an evolving business world. Don't miss out. Register now at bit.ly/MPNB2B. The Business Show, Miami, March 6th and 7th. See you there.
It's not the worst thing. Or somewhere in the middle.
It's always somewhere in the middle.
Life ends up being somewhere in the middle.
Always.
So did that and spent not quite a year. And in that first year was about the same time that social media was becoming in the forefront, in the news. We were all getting on Twitter.
404040.
Yes, exactly.
The code. For us who didn't have Apple iPhones, I would text message an update and get text message. I would waste a text message to tweet.
Exactly. So I have a personal fascination with how technology changes how we communicate. And knew a little bit about marketing from owning my own companies. And so kind of just dove in with this personal fascination about where is this going? How is it changing marketing? How is it changing how we communicate?
Yeah.
And I was getting out talking to people about it, getting invited to come speak about it in places. And the next thing I knew, every phone call I got was, you understand this Twitter thing. Can you come help us? They weren't wanting my business consulting. They were wanting social media consulting.
Hey, pivot.
So that was the first pivot.
Yeah.
And started, being a part of the tech and the entrepreneur community in Philly, which led to volunteer opportunities like the very first Women in Tech Summit, which has now been around for 12 years. And 12 years.
12 years.
And is now a globally award-winning conference.
Ooh, that's awesome. Yeah. Go Gloria. Go Gloria.
And, I've been with it since day one and am now running it by myself.
Oh, God bless you.
It's been through a few iterations with lots of great volunteer partners and lots of other partners along the way. But it is now under the umbrella of the new nonprofit that I started, the Inspiring Tech Foundation.
Love it.
So, I've put my consulting career kind of on the back burner and am now focused solely on what work can I do for underserved groups in tech.
Love
and then
that.
Also sitting on the board of Philly Startup Leaders on how can I help entrepreneurs.
Oh, and you get to you get to be with Isabelle all the time. She is talking about high energy.
Yes.
Woo! Love you, Isabelle.
I get to be the counterweight to Isabelle.
She challenges me with energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a surplus of it. And Gloria knows how much energy I can have.
Oh, yes.
But yes. Isabelle, woo! She's got so much energy and she channels it. And it's just like she's a powerhouse.
She is. I mean, and we actually make a really great partnership because I think it makes sense. We each have really big ideas that we balance each other really well with. So
yeah, you tell her, say, all right, hold on, let's get the processes in place, Isabelle. Let's get the processes in place. All right, now go.
Yeah. Well, and then that's just it. We each have big ideas, and then we figure out how to implement each other's big ideas. So
it's great because Philly Startup Leaders, I think, has really come into its own.
Yes.
Like, it's always been around, but I think the past few years, even with the pandemic, I think it's kind of come out of the pandemic stronger. I feel.
Yes, I agree. And that's how Isabelle kind of lured me back in because I sat on the board years ago of Philly Startup Leaders back in the very early days, and help implement a lot of their signature events. I was part of starting those.
Yeah.
And and then kind of sat back and said, okay, time for somebody else to take the reins. And
because you were running the Women in Tech Summit all by yourself. So I mean, come on now, you were a little busy.
A little bit busy. And then Isabelle and I had a great conversation about what some of her plans for the future were, and I was like, all right, well, let me see how I can help. And
love it.
Again, volunteering lured me back in, and
but it's fun. Really
took a new seat on the board.
That's fantastic. So, all right, now on to the questions of the podcast.
Okay.
You've done the corporate. You've done entrepreneurship to the nth degree. What is the best thing about being an entrepreneur? I mean, versus being in the corporate world? I mean, clearly there's a benefit.
Oh, there is a benefit. For me, it's determining my own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and there are good sides and bad sides to that.
Oh, we'll touch on that. What keeps you up at night next?
Yeah. But the best part of it is, I get to decide how successful I'm going to be. I get to decide, I mean, to a certain degree, there's outside forces that have some impact.
The clients.
Yeah, the clients.
It's sometimes worse than actual bosses sometimes.
Oh, yes. Yes, they can be.
Yeah.
But, and I get to choose what I want to work on.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that is the biggest benefit.
I love it. It's so true.
I get to work on things that are important to me.
Oh, that's awesome. So on the flip side, what keeps you up at night?
What keeps me up at night? I think the thing that probably, and if it's not keeping an entrepreneur up at night, I worry about them, the money.
Oh, it's constant.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing really well, it could be gone in an instant, and then you're back to square one. It's just like,
well, and just, even when you are doing really well, is the money being put in the right place? Am I putting the money in the right programs? Am I taking care of my people in the right way?
Yeah.
And when the money's not coming in, where is it going to come in? What is the thing I can do? What do I need to do?
Hustle.
We all have those nights of, how's the next bill going to get paid?
Oh, it's so scary. But on a more positive
very
note,
scary.
What is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
To carry with me, physical thing to carry with me, or mental thing to carry with me?
You can go as deep as you want.
Well, physical thing to carry with me, the thing that is on me all the time is my phone.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine you living without your phone. Especially how busy you are. Jeez.
But mental, emotional thing to carry with me is a sense of wonder.
Oh, I love that. No one's actually said that before. Kind of shockingly. Huh? No one's ever said a sense of wonder, but I can. That's very important. To kind of wonder what's next and how things are going to go.
We're not, just a sense of always being curious, always learning, always looking at what else is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know that person that you talk to. I've met clients standing in line at the grocery store.
Isn't that fun? It's so weird and so random, but it happens.
I've had ideas, taking my grand dog for a walk.
You're going to get more when you walk your grandkid, too.
Oh, I know. Probably lots more.
Yeah.
But it's just always trying to maintain a sense of wonder.
Love it.
And being curious about the world.
That's important. That's very important. So, Gloria, despite what was formerly known as whatever the heck you want to call it, Twitter, where do you hang out most online now? Like, where can people hang out and find out what the heck Gloria is up to right now? Well, not right now. That's kind of creepy, but you know what
I mean. It's funny because I'm still feeling my way around now that Twitter's not really there. I would say LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Is where you're going to find most of what I am doing.
Yeah.
I have other social platforms, but I have like Instagram and Facebook and stuff, but I keep those networks relatively small.
Yeah.
Those are like friends and family.
Yeah, that's smart. It's smart to do that. And then LinkedIn's more like your business family.
Yeah. LinkedIn is where I'm more public.
Yeah. It's appropriate.
Playing around with Threads.
In the tech space, yeah.
I'm playing around with Threads. Still getting used to it. But what's funny is I had taken such a big step back from Twitter when it started becoming a cesspool.
Yeah.
And I'm actually having a hard time finding my way back into that rhythm of.
Maybe it's a good thing that we don't all do it. I mean, I'm on Mastodon a lot, but that's its own community, and that's kind of, it's not Twitter. It's just not, it's not Twitter. Neither is Threads, and Threads is not Mastodon. And people are all freaking out about how Mastodon and Threads are going to federate, and Meta's going to screw up the Fediverse. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's their own beasts, and if they talk to each other, great. I don't have to go to Threads to follow Gloria. It's that simple. I can go be on my Mastodon account and follow Gloria, which I think is going to be freaking fantastic if it federates. People are freaking out like that Zuck's going to ruin the Fediverse. I'm like, I don't think he can.
No. I think having the access to each other
is important
while still being able to maintain where everybody feels comfortable. When somebody figures out that key,
brilliant.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
maybe that's your next thing, Gloria.
I don't have time for next thing. I will give that idea to somebody else, and they can pay me revenue from
it. yeah. Mark my words, there'll be something else popping out, like grandkid clothing that's tech enabled or something.
That I have actually thought about.
I know. I come on. The entrepreneurial gears never stop. So that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Well, Gloria, thank you so much for being on. I'm so thrilled. I can't believe it took me 200 episodes to get you on. I can't believe it. Like, what the heck? This is awesome. I'm glad to have you on. Good buddy of mine. You knew me when I started Goldstein Media 16 years ago.
I know. I can't believe
I'm still doing it.
Talk
about insane. Talk about insane.
But it's been a great journey, hasn't it?
Oh, I wouldn't trade it for the world. So,
yep. Exactly.
On that note, we'll see everyone next time.
Thanks.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneur's Enigma, please review us in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps other podcast listeners find our show. If you're looking for other podcasts in the marketing space, look no further than the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcasts.net. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode.
You may know you're listening to this show along the Marketing Podcast Network, but did you know there are other great shows on MPN to help your business? Danielle Wiley hosts a great podcast called The Art of Sway. Danielle, tell us what you talk about on the show.
The Art of Sway brings listeners inside the world of marketing as seen through the lens of influence. So each week I chat with an expert guest for a lively discussion about connecting ideas with audiences in an attempt to uncover all the ways influence impacts how and what we discover, purchase, and recommend to each other.
Wow. And where can people subscribe?
Go to theartofswaypodcast.com, find the show at marketingpodcasts.net, or search for The Art of Sway wherever you get your podcasts.
You heard her. Go subscribe. This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.